Hi, this is David Clive at Deed Ventures, and in this video we're going to look at a 40-acre property that's located in between Phoenix and Las Vegas in Yavapai County, Arizona. So as you can see on the map, here's Phoenix, Arizona, which is about a little under 3 hours away from the property. The property is this yellow dot right here. Las Vegas is a little over 3 hours to 3.5 hours away from the property. So as we zoom in, you'll see a few other towns. There's Flagstaff. Flagstaff is something around an hour and a half. Prescott is also about an hour and a half away. Sedona, which is down here south of Flagstaff somewhere, it's about 2 hours. Kingman, which is somewhere over here, is also about 2 hours. And with that, let's see. So here's the yellow dot. This is the property. Ash Fork is the nearest town, and Ash Fork is right here. And it's about 35 minutes or so. Seligman is about 50 minutes away. So let's zoom into this property and give you a feel for the lay of the land and what's going on nearby. All right, first, what's going on nearby? Well, you have a neighbor here on the parcel directly to the north, which is fine. These are 40-acre parcels. They're treed with lots of juniper and such, so there's plenty of privacy. And you also have some great topography, which we'll get to in a second, that also provides you with some privacy. But the great thing about having a neighbor in this area is that the neighbor's already built roads to their house, and there are easements around the edges of every parcel in this development. So you can just build a road along here. You already have an easement to do so. So you can just blade a road in, and you don't have to go very far. You just have to go along the property line, and you can get right there. If you want to get friendly with the neighbor, you might be able to convince them to make that even shorter by splitting off of their driveway. If they're amenable to that. But you don't even need to talk to them. You can just split it off up here, take it right to the property, and you're good to go. So let's look at the topography. I mentioned earlier that this property has some nice features. So in addition to being nicely vegetated with these juniper trees, it's also got a nice ridge that runs right through it. So the great thing about this ridge is that it sits higher than most of the stuff immediately around it, which provides for some great views of the nearby area. I'll drop a little Google guide down so you can kind of see, but this is, it is a hilly property. You've got some nice flat areas up here. And you got the ridge, so some great geographic features to play with, especially if you want a place that has magnificent views. Let's zoom in and drop our guy. This is good. Somewhere along this ridge. Okay, I didn't hit the high spot, folks. Sorry. All right, so let me get rid of the outline of the property just so it doesn't blur. Okay, so this is the view to the north. It's a little bit flatter. Up to the north, there are a few hills and mountains way off in the distance. And as you come around here, you have some great views. And you have some nice colored dirt. You have trees interspersed, shrubs and bushes. So I mean, one of the better view spots in this whole subdivision area. All of its area is called Arizona's Juniper Wood Ranch. So, in all of Arizona's Juniper Wood Ranch, this is probably one of the premier spots just because of the views you can get from up here. So, great location. Let me add the outline back, and there you go. So, that's the property. That's the lay of the land. The neighbors, you can hitch off of their road and build it along the property line. You're also right next to this wash on the backside, which looks like it might be drivable if you wanted to. It's a little closer to the property line, but I don't know if it makes sense to try to drive along a wash and count on that to be available in case there's any moisture. When it rains, those things flood. So anyway, you can connect to the road. It's kind of hard to see, but basically it connects to a few other roads that are a little easier to see. It connects to this road here, which goes up to the freeway, and it connects to another road over here that runs along and also connects and goes to the freeway. And then there's just a whole network of roads around here. So there you have it, 40 acres. It's pretty big. Even when you zoom out this far, that's a big piece of property. All right. So with that, let's look at the things to do nearby. And it's kind of in between, well, it's in Yavapai County, but it's in northern Yavapai County, kind of by Coconino County. So there are lots of things to see and do, tons of outdoor stuff. There's so much cool stuff in this area. It's one of the more unique and interesting places in the country. You have Montezuma Castle National Monument, which is like built into a hillside. You have, these ancient ruins, Cathedral Rock, Red Rock, Lake Pleasant, all kinds of things to do. I'll link to this on my webpage for this property, and that'll be linked on the bottom of this page. So if you want to see my property page and see all this stuff, you can just follow the links through. So these are the things that are in Yavapai County. And then just kind of surrounding Yavapai County, also kind of near the property, you have the Meteor Crater, all kinds of stuff. The Grand Canyon's not too far, Sedona, like 2 hours. So all kinds of stuff nearby. And this will also be linked on my page. Now let's get to the marketplace. So this is something that I kind of struggle with. I have some properties that are like 35 to 40 acres listed in Colorado, and some of them, they're like among the 5 cheapest properties in the entire state that are 35 acres or greater, okay? And they've been listed for maybe a week or two, and I have people calling and thinking they can get like a crazy deal when they're already like the cheapest listed ones. So hopefully I can present this better to really put into perspective the kind of deal this is. So just to give you a feel, I'm looking for any price between 35 and 45 acres that's just plain land. And so in the whole county, yeah, there are cheaper properties way out here in the desert, fine. Let's look at what we've got in the neighborhood nearby. And so we'll do 2 things. We'll look at the pricing in the neighborhood, or the Juniper Woods Ranch development area. And then we'll also look at the average price for this area. All right, so here is the neighborhood, and this is more than a neighborhood, so I'm taking in other areas nearby. And maybe I should zoom in a little bit more. But the cheapest property, as you can see here, is $14,500. All right. So I'm listing mine at thousands of dollars less than the cheapest property in the area. Okay, so thousands of dollars less than the cheapest listing. And if we go to the bottom of the first page, there are 3 pages. We're at $22,000. So the average price for this neighborhood is probably somewhere between $22,000 and $25,000. I'm listing this at about half the average price. So this property is half the price of the typical property in this development, and it's also got trees. It's also got the ridge with great views. It's got a lot of features that some of these other properties that are listed do not have. So with that, I think it's a great deal. I think it's an incredible offer that I'm giving out here, and hopefully someone will take me up on it. Feel free to go to the webpage to learn more information or to buy the property. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Everything will be linked at the end of the video and down in the notes. Thanks. Bye.